guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. Yes, we are a bit disappointed here, a bit flat after that 2-2 draw with Bournemouth. Opportunity, Spurs lost to Newcastle today. Could have closed the gap by further 2 points, but we failed. Big up to Bath Time, big up to Dora. How are you guys doing today, this Saturday evening?
I would feel better if we won this game and if we played better, but no, I'm, thinking about fake jams, chicken, farmland, farm animals. I would rather think about that, in all honesty, than about football right now, but it is what it is. But I had a good day, and yeah, thank you for having me once more.
Not surprising, really, says Subvids. Do you agree with that, Bath Time? And have you had a good day in the sunshine? Is it sunny in Wales? I'm not sure.
It's all right. It's all right. I have had a good day because I've been spending a lot of it thinking about a TV show I've been watching called The Three Body Problem, which I'd much prefer to talk about than what I saw on the pitch today. I don't know what to say about that performance. I mean, does Dreadful cover it?
Maybe we talk about it. We can ask the guys in the comments as well. Andrew Williams saying here, let's hear some positivity rubbish, Monday. And Jaylee saying here, we put on another circus and got very lucky today. Mr. B saying, Lord, that one. And Mr. B would probably deep in Ray Nephew right now. Congratulations, his team won 7-3 in the local club today. So well done, Mr. B. And he made a tactical change as well. So to all you guys watching the eye test, there you go. Pat on the back for you, Bath Time. I'm sure that was to do with that. Well done, Mr. B. Well done, the boys down at the clubhouse. Simon Warner saying, good evening, guys. I am lost for words about the match. So I imagine you're not going to type much more than that. Let's talk about it. All right. The starting lineup. We had the pre-match review, and we had a solo 11. We were right about the back four. The only guys available was Willie and Harry. With obviously the fullbacks available, so no shocks there. But in midfield, he went Garnacho. Sorry, he went Garnacho on the wing with Rashford, Bruno, Mainu, and Casemiro, and Haaland up front. No problem with that, guys. Dora, you got any problem with that lineup based on what we had available?
I would drop Rashford and Casemiro. They're just useless. I don't know what to say. I don't have any good or nice words about those two guys. They're just useless players. They are out of form.
Sorry, Dora, are you saying before the game you would have said they're useless?
Yeah.
Their performance.
Yeah. Casemiro is strolling since the first game. He cannot run. He's moving like a tractor. Not even John Deere or Ferguson. He is just, B-Tech China, made in China tractor, and it's embarrassing. I mean, this is another farm reference. If you just watch back the last stream, watch the preview, you will understand if you haven't watched it. But yeah, he's moving like a rusty tractor. And Rashford is just, I don't know what is his deal. He just doesn't do. He doesn't make an impact on a game in the positive sense. If he isn't scoring or whatever, he isn't doing anything else, and that's a problem. He reminds me of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in that last season for Arsenal. If he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything on the pitch, and that's Marcus Rashford this season especially. He's just useless, and of course he doesn't score goals at all this season as well. I would just drop those two. They're not good enough for starting 11 if you base it on performances. But Ten Hag is just uninspiring as well with his starting 11. He's just copy-pasting his starting 11 every single week. And that's worrying for me, in all honesty.
Okay. Bartha, I'm going to read the bench to you. Would you have brought any of these guys or start one of these guys? Bayinda, Amrabat, Mount, Ericsson, Ahmad, Forson, Amas, the left back, Wheatley, another under 18 striker, and Gunaidi. I don't know who that is, but is there anyone there that you would have started with based on the starting 11?
Yeah, like I'd have played Mason Mount instead of Casemiro and had Bruno or Kobe at 6. I think. Do you know what? I think I might not have played Garnacho, and I might have played Ahmad instead.
Based on what? What are you basing that on?
Based on the fact that I think we need to see if Ahmad is a long-term player for us, and the only way of doing that is to give him games. And I'm not sure that the games are that important anymore because we've got no hope of Champions League unless there's some sort of outrageous war in Europe or something. Like, well done, do it. And like obviously for the against Coventry City, and we'll see how that game goes. But yeah, I think I'd play Ahmad because we have a very rare opportunity for what is meant to be a top club, where we have a couple of meaningless games where we can let players like Willie, like Ahmad, go and have a run out and show if they're Manchester United quality or not. And you know my thoughts on Casemiro. And I mean, he produced a masterclass this evening. Do you know what, Amonde? Right, I think I said this to Dora. I've never seen a player that is that immobile as a defensive midfielder get caught offside. I don't understand how it happened in the first half. Casemiro can't run. Was 20 yards ahead of the ball, getting flagged offside, and you got to think that this isn't a functioning football team.
Wow. Let's hear from the comments quickly. Simon Warner obviously saying he's got lost for words. Big up Andrew Williams saying that was an absolutely terrible performance. Ratings to come. Obviously, Andrew always gives us a player rating individually. Big up Mr. POTUS 25,000. Absolutely shocking performance. No passion. Rashford. That's because Rashford should go. Simon Warner's also saying Luton beat Bournemouth and we can't. God help us against Coventry. Charlie's saying here, at least our opponents did not get 20 chances. They only got 19. It's an improvement. I've got 20 here from my so they did get that target. Here we go. Have a quick look there. I see some low scores. Obviously, 5 is average. Rashford gets a 1. What does that mean?
That's a huge score for Bruno from Andrew.
Well, what would 1, if 5 is average, what would 1 be? And what would 2 be? Dora?
I agree with Casemiro and Rashford. They were bloody awful. If you look at the way they played, I think Bruno he looked much.
5 is average. What does a 1 mean? So what is a 1?
Awful.
Awful.
Terrible.
Any word?
Not good enough.
Not good enough. We need to have a ranking to see these scores. So 5 is average. 4 would be what?
Below average.
No.
Below average.
What do you want? Standard deviations?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So 1 is like outside of 99% of the average. 1 is an all-time terrible performance. Right. It's the opposite of a 10. So if you think Jonathan Woodgate's debut for Real Madrid is an all-time classic, own goal, red card, 10 minutes, and Andrew is saying that Casemiro and Rashford basically were approaching that level with Willie and Højlund not that far behind it.
I thought the young centre back would be there, but okay, fair enough. So what's a 2? 2 would be like just
2 is you got dressed, like you got your shin pads on. Like, I mean that's kind of how I felt with Højlund today. That at least he was dressed. So
at least we can establish now what these scores actually mean. So Rashford is absolutely the worst performance ever alongside Casemiro. And let's move on. UK Exchange saying magical performance. You had me for a second there. But Simon Warner saying Onana can't even keep a clean sheet against smaller sides. He's the worst goalkeeper he's ever seen. Mr. POTUS is saying here, Højlund was terrible today as well. Just completely flat performance. Bruno was the only one doing anything. Kieran saying we were absolutely brilliant and a well-earned point masterclass from Ten Hag. He's laughing at the end there, emoji. Hag will say it's tough. Point, laughing my head off. Big up to Stephanie Griffiths. How you doing, girl? Simon saying here, if we had lost season over, and I think Coventry will run right against us. I want to say hi to Super Nick. Super Nick's one of our favourites on the channel. Real knowledgeable girl on football. And funny enough, I was doing a TikTok live earlier, and she jumped on. I was playing a lot of music, and she jumped on, and we talked about the game and coming up and coming game. And we're a bit more optimistic than we are right now about the future. Out of ideas on and off the bench. That's from Super Nick. Kieran's saying here, this is the worst manager we've ever had. Someone tell me what his CV is. PE teacher from Ajax. No one convinced me otherwise. Need to rotate in the Premier League. More injuries and burnout incoming. That's from Stephanie's agreeing with bath time. 11 shots on goal, 3 shots on target. Strange game. Both games saying there from things. So many. Oh my God. Do you mind if I just read these out? Just a couple more. Where has the killing thing gone from our teams to Simon? We used to be the team that every defender feared. Just embarrassing. Taxi, P45 for our manager. Mason Mount is a joke. Signing. Given this fraud, the number 7 is criminal. Super Nick saying Ganacho is being run to the ground and needs to be rotated. I'm not sure if he should be a regular starter, but due to the lack of options and the energy, he has become one. Andrew Elliott's gone here to say an edit. Harris convinced me that a 9 or 5. All right, there you go. So there's 1-1. That's for Rashford. He's really 0. Sorry, 0. There you go. Mr. B is saying here 1 is put your shirt on. Oh dear. And 1 means P45 printed and readied. 0 means Bruno gets a 0. And so do all the others. So there you go. No pride in this team. I wonder what the dressing room and team morale looks like at United. Wish I was a fly on the wall. Super Nick. 1. All right, we've done that one. Okay. All right, let's get guys. Keep the comments coming in. 11 likes. Thanks, Stephanie. All right, let's talk about the game. We didn't start too well because Bournemouth were on us a little bit. Obviously, they scored first with a mistake. Now we were raving about this new centre back Willie coming through. He's the sort of guy that Bath Time said, if you're a defender, you need to be calm. But what he keeps doing is when he makes a recovery tackle or something, he goes to the fans and goes, "Yeah, look at me, I've just done that." Tries to get the fans on his side. It's a bit like in the WWE, very animated. And it's bound to happen, isn't it? It's bound to happen, Dora. I mean, boy, he kind of looks stupid, slipping and falling all over the place, and then trying to. Where's that recovery pace now? And there's many issues with goal. I don't know if you got it on rewind there or view back, but can you just run us through that goal?
Yes.
And talk about Willie as well. If you don't mind.
Well, Betham probably is going to go into more tactical things and the way we set up with our build-up and everything else and defending and everything else. But before that goal, it's 15th minute. Onana is sitting with the ball at his feet for 30 seconds. Everyone is kind of, not, I wouldn't say strolling, but Bournemouth players are covering really well and he doesn't have anyone to pass it to. So it looks like he's wasting time with the ball at his feet. So he's standing there. No one is pressuring him. Kobe is, as a number 6, I would say, he's coming from the midfield and trying to, come to him, so he can pass. Dalot is kind of in and out of the midfield, and he actually comes back to that left back side. Onana finally decides to pick out Højlund, who actually has free space around him, and he puts the ball down with his chest to Garnacho, who has a poor first touch. And of course, is it Lewis Cook or whoever it was in that midfield? He takes the ball away from him. This is a huge mistake from Garnacho and the whole build-up that we're trying to do. Of course, they immediately take that into account. Solanke, as we said in the preview as well, he scored before this game. He has 16 or 17 goals for Bournemouth in the Premier League.
Yeah,
he's strong, he's fast, he's very technical, and we were kind of hoping that even though maybe Maguire is a bit slower, that Kambala is going to use his stature and his pace to contain him, right? But of course, what does Solanke do? He immediately attacks the youngster. He shrugs him off. Kambala is trying to get over him, in front of him, and to take out the possession, but Solanke is smart enough and he goes on the right, and Kambala, I don't know what it was happening. I think it was raining a lot in Bournemouth because the pitch was really wet.
No rain.
it was because at times it felt like it was really. I don't know. I will
it was
probably
suspicious,
rewatch it and all that.
your old TV.
Really, Amondi? Okay, so I say on the stream that I'm eating, a soup that is for poor. Now you're saying I have a grainy TV. I'm not poor. Sorry, but yeah, he stumbles. he stumbles and he's a rookie. This is his fourth game for Manchester United. And you know what? We as a fan base, we love to hype up our youngsters after one good game. And I was quite cautious, but I felt that, I hope that, he's going to do better. This is just a rookie mistake. I mean, Solanke is a Premier League tier player who just shrugged him off. And great goal by Solanke, by the way. And also, I don't know, what do you guys think? Because Maguire is standing on Onana's left. He is blocking that side of the goal a bit. I felt like Onana should have just jumped for that ball earlier. This is only me, right? I'm not like
I think he
goalkeeping
should
is hard,
save
but
it.
I felt like he should save, because at first it felt like Solanke, put it in the corner, right? He was he pinpointed it in the corner. It's unsavable. But if you look at the replay, it's if Onana just goes, just a fraction of a second earlier, he is on that ball and it's on his hand. And it wasn't even that much in the corner of his goal. So I felt like Maguire he had done everything he could. He covered goalkeeper's left side of the goal. I think he did really well. He then, when he saw that Solanke is going to shoot, he tried to step in front of him. But Onana, he needs to dive for that ball earlier. And to me, that was a piece of a poor goalkeeping as well. But if you are going to, pinpoint who is at fault, I think the whole build-up was suspicious, and Garnacho and Kambala are, they were poor.
Okay, let's pinpoint who was responsible for this goal. Willie, we don't want to give him too much of a hard time, but we have to be real with this guy. You're playing pro football now. Anyone else involved in this goal that you want to pinpoint for half-time?
The first one?
Yeah, the first goal.
No, I'm afraid you have to look at Willie. I was very scared at the start of the match when Solanke monstered him in the first 30, 40 seconds. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I thought, we might be in for a hard day. Everything's wrong with his body shape, his positioning. He looks like he's been shot by a sniper and goes down. And I don't think it's a particularly good finish. I think it's eminently savable. But it's an individual mistake at the back, and it's unfortunately something you have to accept from young players. We saw it with Kobe against, was it West Ham United?
Yeah, he got pinched.
He got pinched. There's no reserve league anymore in the Premier League, so this is the first time Willie's up against proper football, proper men, as it were,
right.
And that's something that he's got to learn. And I think it was in stark contrast to Maguire, who was our monster at the back today. He was smashing through men, which I really enjoyed. And it looked to me like he was trying to help Kwambala through the game a bit more, but just by pointing and stuff. But the thing is, right, is that in football, you're going to lose the ball. Players are going to make mistakes and stuff. And you have to be set up to kind of protect yourself against that. And when the ball was lost, once again in the middle of the pitch, on old maps where they hadn't charted the territory, it said here there be dragons or something like that. And that's what it feels like with our midfield. I mean, I genuinely have absolutely no idea what I was seeing, because in the build-up before that, I think Dora was talking about this. Onana is on the ball for about an ice age, right? And then Kobe just comes wandering in, like a sort of late arrival to the number 6 role, because we just left this massive gap in front of it. And then Onana gives him the ball, and Kobe very, very, very nearly got pinched a couple of times doing that. And it's completely unsustainable. And I mean, we saw it against Liverpool. We saw how good their press is. We expect that. That's Liverpool's thing. That's the great thing. Like Bournemouth, were just all over us. Like all over us. We never had there was always pressure on the ball. We basically lost every 50-50 going. And then look at the contrast with our forwards when we were trying to press them. We didn't it was just ridiculous. It's every week I say I think that's one of the worst performances I've ever seen from United. But this one feels worse because with the exception of Bruno, no fight from anyone at all. No one carried it. Harry did a bit at the back, but they all just accepted that we're crap, and I don't want to accept that on Monday, but we are.
Okay, well, I think maybe Harry Maguire could have got over a little bit quicker, but yeah, you don't expect mistakes like that. How do you think this Willie can get over this? Do you think he's got the confidence from what you've seen from him so far? It's hard to judge him as a character, but he's shown a lot of confidence, with his body language in a way. But do you think he can get over this? Do you think he'll be getting grilled? What do you think, Dora, about his confidence coming through this? Because just as Super Nick is saying here, it's a massive step up, especially for centre backs, and they always get highlighted. So, what would you be saying to Willie right now?
Well, I will go like this. Look, Willie, this is your fourth Premier League game. You've done well until this point. Mistakes happen, and you know what? Hopefully, you get a proper midfield next season, because I get it. It's unplayable, but you know what? We will get next season a better midfield for you, and we are going to start playing a system that's going to stop exposing, not necessarily exposing, but constantly putting pressure on our defensive line and our goalkeeper, because this is absolutely embarrassing from the manager and the coaching staff. We will talk about it more, but I would say it to Willie. Don't be discouraged. You are young. You have a whole career in front of you. Work hard. Be open for education, for knowledge, and talk with experienced players. Talk with Harry. Talk with Varane. Talk with everyone else. Johnny Evans, who has a lot of experience. So yeah, talk to him. Maybe criticize a bit. You could have done this better. When you're playing against stronger player. Blah 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 blah. I'm not for this goal, he is blamable because it is what it is, right? I blame him as well. But that midfield, and we will talk about it more, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, most certainly. All right, so we're 1-0 down and we're thinking, oh, God, here we go again. I can hear the groans from here. So we got back in the game. Now, this is a positive thing. We have to sort of be positive about this. We got back in the game to make it 1-1. And what do you remember about the goal by half time? Because the finish from close range from Bruno, pretty decent.
Just battered it.
Yeah. Could have gone anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well done, Bruno, for just striking that ball in anger. I don't remember a lot sort of building up to the goal because we didn't really sort of build up or do anything. We played some all right passes and stuff. Højlund, once again, his positioning was really iffy, where he should be and things like that. And we got a lucky break of the ball and we punished them for it, which is what you expect at the top level. I don't really have anything else to say about that. It was an effort goal on Monday. We scored that goal off commitment from Bruno and maybe one or two other players. I can't recall, but I mean, what else is there really to say about it?
I do recall Garnacho was down the right, tried to square it, and in the second phase, Rashford, I think, came and pinched the ball, got there first at the edge of the box, and then played it again to the right-hand side, and then we got a crossing, I imagine, and then second pick up pieces was Bruno. That's my memory. Do we have the footage there, Dora? Anything to add to that?
Unfortunately, I cannot find it. It will probably take me more time to find it, but I remember it a bit. I agree with you, Monday. It was Rashford who tried to get into the box from that right side, I would say, and then it kind of got to Højlund and Bruno, and it was a mess. It was a mess a bit, but thankfully Bruno just smashed it into it at the back of the net behind Neto, and it was a relief, in all honesty, because we should have been 4-0 down at that moment in time. But Solanke, that Hungarian Kerkez, and that right winger, and that guy who has a really cool name,
Sinestria.
Sinestria.
Yeah, if you watch X-Men, there's a guy called Mr. Sinister. That's what I was thinking.
Yes, he has a really cool game.
He plays on the left as well.
Name. Yeah, as well. Yeah. So yeah, they missed a lot of chances, and we were lucky, but it was a really goal and great technique by.
Well, I've watched the goal back. I just watched the goal back there.
Go on then.
Like Casemiro plays it in to zone 14. Like Garnacho and Højlund standing on each other's toes. Højlund takes it, pushes it out wide. Garnacho tries to get it in to Bruno. It's deflected. Rashford comes running across and somehow wins a 50-50. Rashford had no right to win that ball. I think the guy must have slipped or something. Plays it back to Garnacho. Garnacho puts in a powder puff cross that deflects off a guy's heel, and then Bruno just bangs it into the top corner. And from here, we've got ourselves back in the game, and you think that it'd be a real springboard on Monday to show that they're committed professionals with a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, so that's after 36 minutes, and then obviously that was after 31 minutes, and then after 36 minutes, you'd think we'd have the momentum, but we went and conceded another goal. Now, I was in the kitchen at this point, I had to run back, so I don't really know much about this goal, but I'm sure there's loads of errors because apparently Kluivert was able to run in between the channel and get in a position to score a goal again. And poor Willie, was standing there, didn't close the man down.
He's really bad on the goal, Amondo.
Yeah, talk to me, because to be honest, I only saw it on a quick replay. I didn't see it live. So,
all right, so
all I saw was the channel run by Kluivert.
Yeah, the channel is absolutely bloody massive in that case, and Delo has got out to their left winger, which might be Sinisteri. I don't know if he's taken off at this point.
Yeah, Sinisteri.
Mr. Sinister.
All right.
Sinister.
What you expect to see there is you expect to see the defensive midfielder move across into that space, but that which would be Casemiro in this case, who doesn't move across. Garnacho isn't really sort of shielding the ball properly. There's a huge gap there. I know people will put a lot of blame on Delo, and I think that Delo is culpable for the goal because he's so far away from his centre-back. But this happens in games where players get dragged out of position, and you have to help them out. So, little Kluivert picks it up, cuts inside. Willie's all over the shop. Footwork's poor. His body shape is poor. It looks like he's about to fall over, to be honest.
Again.
And Casemiro is late. He's so close to getting the ball, but he's late because he doesn't know his distances anymore. And it's a really shocking goal. I quite like Delo, Andrew. I don't like Delo's one of the players I like more. But I'm sorry, he is wildly out of position. And the thing is that when someone is just so far out of position, you've got to go and sort it out as a team. You have to just accept that someone has messed up, and you got to go and help them. But what are you going? Sorry, I'm on. I'm getting distracted by Andrew.
No bites, Andrew.
Right.
Leave him alone. Let him speak, please.
No, that's all right. Let him speak. Andrew's just texting away. The thing is, though, is it's the problem is that there's no defensive or organisation in that back four, and Delo has a responsibility to Willie. Right, and that is that he's got to keep that distance as short as possible when you're defending in the block. Garnacho's not great on the goal, to be honest. But it's just all of it is wrong on Monday. The obvious person is Delo, and the other obvious person is Willie because of how he approaches the ball, how he addresses his man when he's coming at him. But as a midfielder, I know I'm getting there to shut that channel down. You're looking for that during the game. You're looking where the spaces are that you can attack and you can defend. And there's not enough men in the middle of the pitch. And like Casemiro is just fat and old, I'm afraid, and can't cover the ground anymore.
He's getting pelters tonight on the show from both of you. All right, let's go through a couple of comments. We're 2-1 down at the moment. Ganacho making right positions, talking about our goal, our equaliser. That's from Lucky Singh. Bilal saying here, controversial, but I think the Liverpool match was Kambala's only decent game. Made right decision. I saw do it, says Lucky Singh. What the F is Andrew saying there? Doug A saying here, I'd name Sinistero. Remember it, Sinistera.
Sinistera.
Simon saying here, Bournemouth also had everything to play for, trying to put Luton victory over them behind them as well. Being at home. Finally, Rashford wins a 50-50. That's a positive, says Lucky Singh. Our equaliser. Super Nick saying here, Rasmus is a developmental player and really not a main striker. But what else do we have? True. Andrew saying, absolute shit show for the second goal. We've just gone through that. So all the comments are going to be about the second goal, I hope. That was embarrassing defended by Kambala, especially this on the second goal. I mean, at fault for the 2 goals, maybe, or in and around. Yeah, he's definitely got something to do with them. Defense has get all box defense, second goal embarrassment. Lucky Singh. Thank you. It's Lucky Singh, come on.
Yeah.
ESO classes. Simon saying here, the question is, are we going to stick with the same side against Coventry? We come on to that. Looking at Bournemouth, like so many of the opposition we faced, says Super Nick, the team has balance and clear roles within their squad, understanding their strengths and weaknesses. There you go. That's a sign of a good team. Lucky Singh saying here, defense when our sort mess. Andrew Williams saying you have a positive agenda against Dallo. We've discussed that already.
Okay. All right. I see what you means now.
Big up to Eddie Football Waffle. Go subscribe to his channel. If you didn't see the quiz, he's done the quiz this week. He's done pretty well. Good evening to the Man United Agenda chat. Poor as usual, he's saying. Groundhog Day settings. We've said it. Yeah, it's true. Focus on the FA Cup, guys. That's the only silver lining. There you go. 14 likes as well. Thank you very much. Justin Cliver is better driver than his dad, says Bilal.
No.
What did Patrick Cliver do driving?
Oh no, that was an accident. He had an accident or something, didn't he? All right, Zane, how you doing, man? Welcome back to the Man United Agenda.
Really?
Coventry game ain't going to be easy, he's saying here. Double A, talking about the goal. We just left well open in the middle of the park constantly as well. Simon again is saying here, too many of our back four are injured, all key players. We need Martinez back. First ever Twitter comment.
Yay.
Well done, Tyra. Are we live on Twitter? Hello, Twitter world or X. How you doing?
Hello, Elon.
Yeah, there we go. Patrick Lyon.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So that was a joke, but not really a joke. Not something we want to be laughing about. Montreal MEFC, how you doing, man? Welcome back. He said, when does it become unattainable that Ten Hag gets the sack?
Untenable.
Oh, sorry. Untenable. What's untenable mean?
When a situation can no longer continue.
Okay, there you go. So when does it become untenable that Ten Hag gets the sack? News from earlier this week about Mark Skinner getting a new contract to manage the women's team dampened my hopes for Ineos. Couple more here. On paper, Sheffield United match should be easy, but we have 6-7 league games to go, and most of them are potential banana skins. Talk about Ahmad as well. We saw Ahmad play. Man can pass and move like a good attacker. Yeah, all right. We're 2-1 down, going at half time. Obviously, went 2-2. In the second half, Bruno scored a penalty. Was it a penalty?
Probably not.
It was called against us. I remember that Bayern München, Bayern Munich game when Eriksen was at fault for the handball. He couldn't do anything, right? It literally hit him at full speed like this. It kind of deflected and it hit him in the hand or in the arm, and it was called a pen. So it is what it is. I think the ref today, I think he made mistakes for both sides. I think he was poor. Harrington, whatever his name is. I feel like I never saw that this guy. I never see this guy. I've never seen this guy this season. He feels like he's a new guy to me. Because he made a lot of mistakes for both sides today. Not calling corners, not calling goal kicks, not I don't know what was happening.
Not having his batteries.
No, not having his batteries as well. Hungarian guy Kerkez, whatever his name, Milos Kerkez. How is he? Maybe he has Montenegrin or Serbian blood. But yeah, Milos is a Montenegrin Serbian name. He dived in the first half.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, it's a pen." He didn't do anything about it. Second time he did it for Christie, and then, but yeah, very inconsistent by the referee today, and very poor in my opinion. So, yeah, it was a pen because it was called against us this season. To me, it was a pen, even though it was really soft and really dodgy.
I thought it was soft as well. Yeah, balanced out. I mean, Bartha, do you think that was a pen as well?
No.
I don't either. Yeah, I think that's a bit unfair on the.
Do you know what annoyed me? Do you know what annoyed me when I saw the replays? Is did you see who was at centre forward, during that pattern of play?
No, I didn't.
Casemiro
again.
Yeah,
I was back from offsides. Yeah.
Do you know what? Right, I don't think I have been offside in open play as a midfielder for at least 6 or 7 years. I don't understand how a player who's meant to be behind the ball is offside, playing at centre forward, and everyone thinks that this is fine. And he did some of the greatest slide tackles from his collection ever. It was just dreadful. But in terms of the penalty, I think that's extremely harsh. And I don't know what else to say about it. I'd be livid if I was given a penalty against for that.
Can we give credit to Bruno? You got a brace today.
Yeah,
he is a good penalty taker, isn't he? I mean, to roll it like that. Is he looking? Does he wait? Does he have a decision? Right, I can go left or right. He's just waiting for what the keeper does. Do you think that's how he does it, or do you think he picks a spot?
I didn't actually see the penalty. I just lay back and close my eyes. I sometimes don't watch penalties. Because
what do you think though then about you guys, Dora, bath time, when he does these penalties where he just strokes it into the corner of the net? Do you think he's waiting for the goalkeeper and he's already got two options? So if the goalkeeper goes one side, he's just going to go the other side. Do you think that's what he's doing, or do you think he's already made his mind up? Because he always
to be quite honest with you, I haven't I saw that we got a pen, and as the bad time said, I rarely watch them because I'm always scared. Did he put it in the left or to the right side or to the right or the left side? Goalkeeper's left. Because a graphic before the pen showcased that he likes to put the ball kind of on the right side of the goalkeeper, because of course it's easier with the right to shoot on the left side, right? And he chose this one. I think so. Maybe he tries, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how penalty kickers think, in all honesty. So maybe he does it. That's why he did that hop thing. Did he do that hop thing again?
Yeah, no, that's been changed. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, penalty takers have a different run up now, where they have a longer run up, and as they're approaching the ball, they do. Do you remember Pogba used to do that really weird pen of just sort of like river dance? Yeah,
yes, and Simon Zaza.
Yeah. I bet you, I haven't seen it, but I bet you Bruno did that, because in that, so you go fast, you slow down, and that's where I think they make their decision to pick a side.
Harry Kane done something similar. I was really impressed the way he slotted a penalty in midweek in the Champions League against Arsenal. He kind of slowed up and waited for the keeper. But you were saying they've sort of tried.
You're not allowed to do that hop anymore.
Right, so the hop take. Okay, that's the where you're going wrong. All right, so great penalty with 2-2. That made it 2-2. And obviously at half time, Garnacho came off. We discussed that earlier. And Ahmad, we're going to have a little discussion about Ahmad now, because he come on the pitch. You fancy him, guys? You fancy him, Dora? Do you fancy him bath time as a player? I think because everyone's been calling out for him for a long time now. He costs a lot of money. He's gone a couple of loans. He went to Rangers 1 year. and when the year they got to the final in Europe as well, but wasn't really played by I think it's Van Bronckhorst who was managing then. Then he went to Sunderland, he was their player of the year. He's scored against AC Milan for us a couple of years ago in the Europa League with a flick on header. Always seems to do well. But what is it with this guy? Why doesn't he seem to get game time? And do you think he's got a future at the club? Based on what you saw today, I thought he played some nice, neat football. So I think there's something there.
He's better than Anthony, that's for sure. In all honesty, because at least but I mean,
he is.
People are arguing, oh, he is better because at least he tries to take on a player but he's not doing the same thing every time like Anthony does. Anthony only cuts in. He cuts in every single time. He either shoots or he tries to pass it directly to the running midfielder or number 9, which is Højlund in our case. He tries something else. I think he reads a game much better than Anthony as well. Why isn't he starting? Maybe because he feels like Rashford needs to start, Garnacho needs to start. Anthony is his player. He bought him for 80 mil, 90 mil. He needs to start, and he knows him better. Whatever. People can argue maybe he's not physical enough, but Anthony isn't physical enough as well. So what is the point of not, playing Amad Diallo? Maybe he feels that he's not, that he's not consistently good enough for in the defensive part of his game, for example. I don't know what he thinks, because I feel that after Garnacho, he's our best right winger this season, because not just Milan, blah blah blah. Every time he came in for us, I'm not saying he transformed our game. I'm saying that he made us a bit better. That right side is much more livelier, and he's doing really really well, especially as a sub in those moments. So I don't know what is Ten Hag smoking, thinking that the likes of Anthony or maybe Rashford, needs to start in front of this guy, because as you said on Monday, yes, he has been alone a lot, but I think he needs to get a chance, because for example, even Pellister, when he was here, he was much better than Anthony this season, especially before he got loaned out. He was better. He wasn't anything special, but at least he was more dynamic and he was more direct, and he tried to, play in other players. And, our right wingers at this moment in time are, not doing it. So why not start him?
What's the ceiling with Amad Diallo half time? You watched him today? He had 45 minutes of Diallo time. What do you think of him as a player? Is there a future for him? Is there a higher ceiling for him? Or do you think he's just a championship small guy?
I'm not sure. I mean, one thing I did notice is that Ten Hag was giving him pelters throughout the game.
Yeah. Sorry, bedtime.
Yes.
Why isn't he giving pelters to Rashford and Casemiro and those guys? I noticed that as well. He's only giving pelters to Amad Diallo and the young guys. Why are you not criticizing the senior players who are underperforming this season consistently? They are so bad. They are putting this team on a back foot every single game.
Well, I mean, we said last night, or at least that I did, that Ten Hag has got kind of there's a sort of Leonardo DiCaprio aspect to him, where he's not that interested in anyone over the age of 25. And he only seems to really sort of work with. Well, I mean, Dora, you were talking earlier on about what Ten Hag is smoking, and I started thinking about, you seen Breaking Bad? I'd love to remake it with Ten Hag and Garnacho. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. But look, I think with Diallo, I'm not as on board as everyone else is. I remember watching him for Rangers, and it was bloody dreadful. I think that he has fitness issues based off his time in Sunderland, where he rarely sort of completed anything past 70 minutes. I wasn't too impressed with him today, particularly in a passage of play in the last couple of minutes where we were unable to get the ball into the box. And then when we did, Højlund ran into Harry Maguire. as Harry was. I don't know what he was trying, but he was trying something. I'm not. Look, Amonde, I'm not sure about Ahmad, and I think we sell him, to be honest, because he's had plenty of opportunities. He's a player that we can certainly sell to a championship team, and he just doesn't. He doesn't seem to fit in our team. Like, we all see that he's got qualities of sort of balance and control. It looks to me that he can speed the game up and he can slow it down.
Yeah.
But apart from his goal against Liverpool, I don't think that he affects football matches enough to play for Manchester United. I don't think he's creating chances. I don't think he's taking his man on. He looks to me like a player. He looks like to me like a full-on academy player in his first season, where he's not taking decisions for himself. He's just playing as part of the system.
All right, I'm just going to read some comments. But while I'm reading the comments, and guys in the comments as well, I want you to look. We've got 3 left-footed right wingers who are sort of contracted to the club. We've got Anthony, we've got Ahmad, and we've got Greenwood.
Okay.
Play, bench, sell.
I'm selling all of them.
Okay. Asking you guys in the comments, play, bench, sell. You got Anthony, you got Greenwood, and you got Ahmad. What would you do with those 3? All right, here we go. We got Ericsson sitting on the bench game after game. He spoke up saying he was disappointed not getting game time. Now he's being punished for speaking up, according to Jaylee. I saw him on the bench, he's looking miserable. United need wide men who can create for Haaland. Why can't Ten Hag work this out? Is McTominay injured? Yes, he is. Wasn't even on the bench today. Inconsistency is holding him back. And I dare say coaching and a lack of real first-team football is the pathway at United. That's talking about our very own Dalot. United need 2 fullbacks. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka are so bad. Correct, Dora. Spot on, Dora. That's from the 2 Williams brothers. They're in cahoots there. They love your comments there about Ahmad. Super Nick saying Eric Ten Hag and his sons, they never get scolded. Ahmad is just like another Alange of Langa. Breaking Bad. I wish I would see him Breaking Bad now, because Tyrone loved that. He's having a big one. Breaking Bad habits. And even Montreal MEFC, he's seen Breaking Bad. He's saying effing it off half time. I need to see Breaking Bad to get the joke. You had 45 minutes, Dallo, says Lucky Singh. Bissaka's contract runs out next year. He could go in the summer. That's from Simon. Ten Hag out. No favourites. No sentimentality. No passengers. That's from Stephanie Griffiths. Ahmad Diallo would be a good player, but Ten Hag can't get the best out of him. Tyrone Williams. Super Nick saying in the last few minutes were embarrassing. Everyone was avoiding trying to shoot. Harry David, how you doing? I think he would have started more if he was good enough. All right, simple there. We're talking about Ahmad. Diallo is our Donny van der Beek now. He's always the answer. I asked you guys, you said sell all. So here we go. So we've got 3 guys. We've got 3 left-footed guys who play in the right wing. Anthony, Greenwood, Dalot. Montreal will play Ahmad, bench Anthony, and sell Greenwood. Bilal will sell them all like bath time. Greenwood would be out, says Lucky Singh. So the other 2 don't know. Stephanie Griffith said she would play Anthony, bench Ahmad, and sell Mason Greenwood. Is there any more here? There's one here. Based on football ability alone, play Greenwood, bench Anthony, sell Ahmad. Dora, do you want to have a go at this?
No. As bad time, I would just get rid of all of them. I mean, even if you put aside, but seriously, if you're going to, strictly on footballing thing, the Greenwood at Getafe isn't that good, in my opinion. I actually watched their game today. They are football terrorists, Getafe. They are just awful, and he isn't any better, in my opinion. They're just playing ugly, disgusting football. He scored few, and that's all. I think he burned his bridges for United. I would get rid. Ahmad is probably not good enough because he's not starting. Maybe a bit because of favoritism, but I think if he was better, he would start. And finally, Anthony, just get rid of the fidget spinner. Sorry, I'm unhinged a bit, but it is like I don't have any other good word for what I witnessed today. And that's
Do you think anyone played well?
Kind of played.
Do you think anyone played well in the match today?
I think based on effort, I think Bruno is the standout for me. This is probably because he wanted to win. The other guys wanted to sabotage him and wanted to sabotage the whole team. In my opinion, like it was really bad. Like watching that segment of 2 minutes at the end of the game where we are chasing a result after that almost penalty. We should. Maguire is up there as well. We should try to win. Right, we are committing everyone in attack once again. And what do I see? Bruno tries to put it up front, but then Diallo, Casemiro, and they are
Willie.
passing Willie as well. They are passing in a triangle and putting it back. Like
no commitment,
go,
no courage,
no commitment, no courage. Exactly. And this is people are saying, oh, it was almost a penalty, blah blah. Willie got scared, in my opinion. Willie got scared. That's why he fouled that guy so naively in that last 5 minutes, right, for that final penalty shout. And this is my point as well. Before people, I'm Ten Hag out, absolutely. I don't want to see him next season in this club. I don't care. I'm laughing at Stephanie's comment. True, actually. I don't want him next season. I want him gone. And I hope that sees it and, just gets rid of him. But this mentality of the players needs to improve. Hire football psychologist, whatever, or bring a hype man. Someone. Get a Monday in. Literally, if they are so scared in those, like this was a potentially third penalty in the last 5 minutes in third game. We conceded a pen against Chelsea and we lost that game in the last 5 minutes of the game. Liverpool game, last 10 minutes of the game, we are conceding a pen out of stupidity from Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well, because he folded like a chair. His mentality folded like a chair that game, and then almost Willie Kambala. Like, just bring police, because it's really unwatchable. And I hope that if the new manager comes in, I hope that when the new manager comes in, he will, or they will, or whatever, they are going to sit them down and say, you know what, this isn't going to, like, you need to play like real professionals. Because this is, as Bethlehem said, we were talking about, the game a bit during the game. He said this is a Vandrama level of play that we play today, and it truly looks like it. It's so amateurish. I feel like Mr. B with his team would outplay United today, and this isn't, I'm not trying to diss Mr. B but it's so bad. It's so bad. It's
Are you
so
scared
bad.
for Coventry?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are going to. That time they know they on paper they are worse than United. They know they don't have the paychecks, they don't have the quality on paper, whatever. But they will bite and they will try their best to win against us. If they could have done it against Wolverhampton, who are a Premier League level team, they can do it against United, who are, in my opinion, playing like a low table team at this moment in time. We are playing exceptionally worse than Bournemouth, than Fulham, than Luton, even, because Luton outplayed us aesthetically. If you want to put it like that, even they outplayed it as well, because we looked dreadful against them. But they are going to bite us. They are going to want to bite. They are going to smell the blood in the water. And what is Ten Hag going to do? He's going to copy paste the same starting 11 against Coventry as well. We will have a preview, guys, on the channel, of course. Jump in and
Who do you think gets in a championship team from like the players that are out on the pitch today? I don't think Casemiro plays for any team in the championship in central midfield.
He's not good for Debrecen, which is in a Hungarian league. He's not good enough for that team. Ferencváros, second Croatian league, Zrinski. I am shocked. How bad he looks. Like, he could literally retire tomorrow, and I wouldn't blame him, in all honesty. He looks shot. I don't know where he will continue his career? Is it going to be Saudi Arabia? Is it going to be Brazil? Or is it going to be something else? He looks really bad.
Might be for a Monday at this rate. Slot in. Slot it in. Woodlands.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, good. Casemiro's getting it. He's getting it badly.
Do you think he was good on Monday?
No, I don't think he was terrible today. Even he was sliding in a couple of times. I'm thinking, why are you doing this over and over again? And everyone's bombing forward. And you could say, well, I think he does it because he thinks, I ain't got a gas team run these guys. Let me slide in and act like I've gone for him. And then that way it looks like when they're asking questions, I say, well, I tried to win the ball back. A couple here, Casemiro wouldn't play the MLS. And I say that's someone who thinks the MLS is like semi-pro doo-doo. That's El Montreal. Tyron saying Casemiro must have a deal with another club sorted in the summer. He's absolutely shocking. Talk about Varane. Varane's been approached by another club as well, since Simon Warner. And Stephanie saying that Casemiro's form has fallen off a cliff from Casemiro to Crapamiro. Oh, God. Harry David saying here, I kind of want to see Potter in team up with Ashworth. I feel like the situation at Chelsea did him no favours, and he could surprise us. Talk about FA Cup. I'm sure fresh legs hardly played 90 minutes to get FA Cup game. If you can make sense of that, lucky see. All right, guys, just pick out one player that we want to discuss. I'm going to start. My player today will be Willie. The penalty right at the end, where I'm sure we all like, oh my God, not you again. He would have been responsible for 3 goals. I think we talked about earlier about character. I think he has got character from what I've seen. He seems to be positive all the time, but he had a really bad game. And as a centre-back, you don't want to be... If that was Harry Maguire right now, what would the headlines be? Giving away the first goal, slipping, looking stupid. There'd be memes of him doing breakdance moves or whatever on the pitch. The second goal, he lack of communication between him and Dalot. Let the guy run through the channel, and then he stood up and let the guy Kluivert score. And then at the end, he's dived in kind of recklessly and almost gave away.
Yeah, all right. I'm on those are all individual errors, and I accept that they're shocking ones. But through if you take them away and through the sort of general course of the game, do you think he was bad?
Yeah, right at the end. Reason why, right at the end, I think it got to him because today, even with his touches, bringing the ball down, hot potato. He just wanted to give it up. I think he lost his confidence. He's definitely got ability to do that. At the end, we were in a position where we Dora was saying, we've got Harry Maguire forward. We're let's try and get this goal. And we wanted to play football. We had them camped in their half. Let's play football here. Bruno is moving around, playing 1-2s. You know, when you play a pass, and the only option for the person you receiving the pass is to give it back to you. That's what Bruno does a lot. He gives it to someone in a way where he has to get the return, you know, and so he can be the playmaker. And he done that. And I think it's a bit selfish of him. And then it ended up from being, we camped outside their box. Suddenly we had to turn back, come back home. It goes, Bruno passes it to Willie. Willie can't get out his feet. He gets a bit shook. And we end up with Bruno hitting a long, flipping 6-yard sky ball to Maguire. When really in position we could play a through ball from outside the box. It ended up with us playing a long, high ball under pressure to the corner with Maguire. I blame Willie for that and Bruno. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know Bruno had a good game, but Bruno's playing his stupid passes for being selfish. Yeah, you've got to give it back to me. There's sort of tight areas. And then he come back home. Willie didn't have the confidence. He was shook by this point to get out his feet and say, let me spray a ball or let me just progress this a bit more. And that to me shows me that he gets a 2 for me, a score of 2. Really, he needs to come back.
Wow.
Yeah, look, as a centre back, you've got to take responsibility. 2 goals you're involved in, it's your fault. Anyone else at Man United, you're in the spotlight. Don't make excuses because you're young. You're playing for a reason. So I'm saying this, I'm giving him a hard time. And I know you were saying earlier, why did the manager pick out young players like Ahmad to have a go at? I think it's because he knows if there's a chance he's staying at the club, he can work with you guys. The others he just doesn't bother with because he doesn't want mutiny in the camp, like the older senior players. So Kambala or Willie, whatever his name is, I think he was shocking today. And I think he needs to recognise that, take a slap, come back stronger.
Worst player on the pitch?
Sorry?
Was he the worst player on the pitch for you?
Yeah, he got to be, based on what happened there. Obviously, forget Casemiro, but Willie for me. Yeah, pick a player, positive or negative. Let's shut this down.
I'm gonna go with Kobe. Like, another a poor game. He did some nice stuff, but another game where Kobe drifted. We've got to find him a position. We've just got to do better with him because, like, when Kobe goes to the Euros and he plays with sort of Rice and Bellingham and Henderson and all these experienced high quality players, you're going to see what can happen when you get a player of that ability in the right areas. And Kobe Minu I'm really worried he's not going to hang around the way like Bruno has hung around. Like, I think that Kobe in 2 or 3 years he might be looking for a move because he's got, we've seen this with Bellingham's and the Sanchos, this new generation of England players. They understand like how competitive it is now to be an England international. England are winning everything at all the different levels. And, the next 10 years is basically be England, Spain and France fighting for every Euros and World Cup. Sorry, Dora. But I looked at Kobe today and I saw a performance. I just saw another game getting away from him when he's one of the only technical players that we've got. And we've got to set up the team better in order to get the best out of him, because I'd have to give him a 4 or a 3 for his performance today. And I'm really concerned about what's going to happen with Kobe because he's such a talent. And I think we're not using him correctly.
And Dora, positive or negative? Just pick a player you want to have a little convo on.
Okay, so we already talked about Casemiro, who he probably was playing that popular song. I think it is 90s or 2000s, freestyler, and he was just running around the pitch and freestyling on everyone, trying to be a center forward, trying to be like, what the hell was he doing? I mean, we already talked about him. I won't waste my breath on him anymore. Rashford was invisible. I didn't even think that he played again. In all honesty, he's just non-existent. I think we discussed a lot Rashford a lot on this channel, and I'm just sick and tired of him. I just want him gone. In all honesty, I'm done with him.
What about
I will mention
Dora? What do you
as
think?
well. He can go. He
can
go as well. He cannot pass. He barely can defend. Just get rid. Just get the youngsters from the academy, or just invest in Frimpong, or maybe try to get from Bayer Leverkusen. What's his face? That left back. I knew he played in Grimaldo or someone like. Just invest in another left back or right back or whatever. I cannot stand watching these guys play those positions. But you know what? I will highlight Rasmus Højlund, who, in all honesty, I will be honest with you, I thought he hadn't played today.
Dora, Tyrone Williams said Tyrone Williams wants you as director of football.
Thank you. Yeah, you are the only one, but thank you. thank you. Oh my, what do I would pick Rasmus Højlund. I thought he had a poor game. People are, you know what? I agree with people saying that he lacks this service. However, I feel that he doesn't help himself as well. Whenever, especially in the last few weeks since he came back from that injury, he had an amazing streak of how do you say it? Games where he scored 6 games in a row, 7 games in a row, whatever. He got injured. He came back, and I feel like he's either invisible in the game, or when he gets the ball, he doesn't do anything with it. He either lost it, he gets manhandled by other center backs, or he just doesn't communicate with his wings at all. And I think this is the communication the team obviously lacks, and I think he's, unfortunately one of the victims. I feel like he's been strolling around a lot and being invisible in the last few weeks, and I feel bad for him because you will clearly see that he's trying, he's running a lot, but I feel like his positioning and his hold-up play has been poor. has been really poor. And I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a great player for Manchester United, but currently he's in the grey. He's in the grey as the rest of the United team in the last few weeks, unfortunately.
Okay, well, it's a long trip back to Old Trafford from Bournemouth. I think that's one of the furthest games, I'd say. Look at our geography. What's the furthest they have to travel in the Premiership? I think it would be Bournemouth. Yeah,
Bournemouth is in the south of
coast,
England, right? Yeah, south coast.
Good 6-7 hours, I reckon, for the guys.
Oh,
and
wow.
the fans as well. I feel sorry for the fans travelling down from Manchester all the way down.
Fans were fantastic on the telly.
Yeah, they were.
Were the Bournemouth fans or
the United fans? Our away support is incredible. I had a little sing-song with them, to be honest. It was great. Do you want some stats, Amondo?
Yes, please. Let's look at some data.
All right. Man United have conceded, on average, 17.8 shots per 90 in the Premier League this season. This is now the most of any club. Some other news. Jamie Redknapp has said that Casemiro looks like he's playing in Soccer Aid.
That's a good one.
Good one.
Jesus, you don't. I mean, Ten Hag. You all know what's coming with his quotes.
Please.
Are you sure?
Go on.
Yes, go for it. I don't care.
We have a team that is resilient and has character. Twice we've come back from losing positions. We lose balls in positions like the first goal. It was actually a good setup from our side, but then we lose the ball. I mean, Amonde,
what do you want the man to say? What do you want the man to say? I think Subnik's saying here, I don't want to put it out there, but things are going to go and get worse. And we had 2 shots on target, both which were our goal, which one was a penalty as well. That's bad, isn't it? Dora.
I like this one.
Well, you know what? Yeah, make players walk back. True. When Roy Keane said it, when Roy Keane said it to David De Gea after that one game, he was, pissed. But, everyone who plays Football Manager knows that you have assertive, you have confident, you have passionate, and you have disappointed, and you have another option, or maybe neutral or something like that option to speak as a manager post-game after, in the game, right? And he always consistently chooses delusional, and he made that whole category by his own. Ten Hag made up, invented. He modded again. And he put delusional, above assertive and disappointed in. And I honestly, I feel like he is high. I wish that he is high, and I wish that he borrows it to me, because I want to feel, I want to have my head in clouds and just feel nothing, because it feels like he feels nothing when he watches those games. I don't know what he's watching. I feel like he is falling into the same pattern as I don't know. I felt like Ole, by the end of his reign, he was, we were good, we were blah, blah, but then he kind of gave up and he was almost crying in post-match after, bad performances. But this guy is just proper delusional, and he invented a delusional category in Football Manager game. Literally. Wow. Just put his name there. He's Omonte, you don't have to be that delusional. You could say, look, we didn't set up well. We are going to correct it in the next game. At least lie a bit.
Yeah.
Lie. Because I know he won't do it, but at least lie and stop. Lie a bit and stop, making yourself crazy every single post-match interview, because he makes himself crazy.
Do you remember Chemical Ali, Dora? He was the Iraqi spokesman during the Second Iraq War. And as the tanks were rolling into Baghdad, he was out with a megaphone shouting that, like, America was about to lose the war and things like that, as that Saddam statue was getting toppled behind him. And that's the kind of vibe that I get from Ten Hag. Like, I wonder if, like, him and his coaches and all this stuff, like, you've got to get someone in there to tell them what the truth is of the situation. And I hope that it would be Bike Boy Beresford or whatever he's called. But I don't know what is going on with Baghdad Bob. I thought he was called Chemical Ali. Anyway, Monday. Speaking of delusional settings, where are you on keeping Ten Hag at the moment?
I still keep him. I still think he should stay. I think you just need to work around. I think you just need to work around the getting the club sorted. The main goal we got to do as a club is sort out everything behind the scenes, get the right staff, and get everything sorted. And the manager's there for the long run. I think that's how it should be.
What does he have to do on Monday? What has to happen for you to say?
For me, look, we're not going to get top four. That's set now. I don't think we're going to get top four. I don't think if we can get to fifth place, that's too far beyond us now. I just think there's obviously it's the culture that you go after the manager when fans are waving the white flags on this show. Next time, after time, just put a white flag on your profile. And Dora, I want you to come with a white flag as well and wave it because that's the culture.
That's what the team are doing.
Yeah. And I think the players, we're in the process. As we said before, it's been like 10 years since we won a major trophy, which is the Premier League. None of these managers have come along and got a fair shake, I believe, at getting it right. It's always gone wrong. The players, I feel, have always been to blame. I just want to say, let's do something different now. Let's stick with the manager and let's get some players in or develop players like we've seen, which we're happy with Garnacho's.
Monday. That's why you want to keep him. We understand that.
Yeah,
right?
That's my point. I think let's just sort out the club and then let's get all the stuff sorted. We've only just recently had an ownership change. Let them do their job and get the right people in, and then give Ten Hag license to do what he needs to do with the correct mindset of players that he needs. At the moment, we can blame Ten Hag to say, "Oh, you brought Anthony in, or you haven't got a game plan, or you haven't got anything going on." But and I agree with most of these points. I do agree with you guys. But my thing is, let's not continue.
I know. I'm on that.
The past.
Break
let's
the wheel.
The manager, fix up the club, build the foundation on rock, and then give him an opportunity to show. Because when the storm comes, when we've got a foundation of rock, he will be sturdy. At the moment, we built our foundation on sand, and then he's not sturdy. It's always him at the top that's going to be wobbly and under pressure. So I don't think he's the best manager. I think he needs to improve. But I'm saying, rather than change things every couple of years, like we have done ever since Fergie's left, I think just keep him and then get some of these guys out. The ones we've been cussing during the show, Casemiro, the Rashfords of this world, the old guard, get them out and get some new, fresh faces in who got the right attitude. And let's start and rebuild, a proper rebuild with this guy in charge. Do you know how much it's going to cost to get rid of him? I think he's a decent manager. I think he'd do enough. He got us top four last season. Shows he's got credentials. Look at CV. Got to the semi-finals. Won trophies in Holland, which people say it's what you're supposed to. Yeah, he is supposed to. But to get to the semi-finals of the Champions League with a side, it hasn't been done since 1995 or 96. Sorry, at Ajax. So I do believe there's something there. I just think with the right players, maybe we'd see better and his system a bit more fruitful than it is today.
What does he have to do on Monday for you to say, regardless of structure, of like players, all this sort of stuff, what does he have to do for you to say, do you know what? I think enough is enough.
He has to show me that he's lost it, as in he's completely given up or the pressure's completely gone to him where he's collapsed. That means messing up completely. If we lose to Coventry and he makes stupid excuses or whatever, then I'd be like, nah, bruv, that's not on. I need to see him, like Willie today, completely lose your confidence and be flat out gone.
I like me to be
poker face throughout. He's always. We don't like his.
Not today. Not today, Monday. He was animated today on the touchline. Maybe we saw more of it.
I'm saying poker face with his the way he deals with the journalists. This is a part of the job that most managers probably wish they didn't have to deal with. Just let them put the head down behind the scenes, deal with put program notes in or in the program or something, rather than going in front of the world, to do a press conference, because everyone's looking for cracks, everyone's looking for weaknesses, and no matter what you say, look at look at the politicians. Our country's in a mess, and the politicians come out and say all this garbage, and people get away with it. Same with managers. You got to just say the right thing. I'm fed up of watching interviews of players. They say obviously this, obviously that. You know, they say the same old thing. What they're supposed to say. They're media trained, and so is Ten Hag. So what you're getting is what he's trained to do. You know, but behind the scenes, I think he should be change his attitude and start grilling people and start getting people out. If he's doing that and saying to the boards and saying to Jim Ratcliffe and these guys, look, man, behind the scenes, I know what I'm saying in front of the camera. Behind the scenes, Casemiro's let me down, or Rashford's, thing.
Why is Rashford still in the team after what happened in Belfast?
Why would you want to? Well, he forgave him. He punished him, as he should have, and he got him back in the team because who else is going to play? If you don't play Rashford and you've got a job where it's a results-based game, I'm feeling that as a Sunday League manager. I wish I could be more consistent and not play people. The other day I got told off because people turned up late and I got them on straight away before other people were there early because they were better players. But they were better players and we were only 2-1 up or something at the time. And some of the players moaned about it. So, but if there's no consistency in my Sunday team, the same applies to Ten Hag. He probably knows, all right, let me just play Rashford because if I don't play him, it's going to be, oh, here we go. You didn't play Rashford. That's why we lost. You see what I'm saying?
Monday, I agree with you, right? That there are three things I agree with you on, right? The first is that all the sands are shifting in the club. We're getting Murtaugh and Arnold are going. We're getting new people in and things. And sometimes you want a kind of transition candidate for these sort of things, like a safe pair of hands. I agree with you that the culture of the club needs to be changed. But what I strongly disagree with you with here is I don't think
things.
That he did all right last season.
Okay.
Like Champions League qualification and a minor trophy is, regardless of how fluky it was or how poor the league is, for your first season in the Premier League, that's good, right? Can't take that away from him. Trophy in Champions League in your first season. I'm not sure Klopp. I'm not sure Pep. I'm not sure there are many managers who've done that. But what I disagree with is about changing the club culture because, I think Yale, if he's still here, talked about how he felt that Eriksen has been benched ever since he spoke out. Rashford lied to the club, got drunk, and then didn't go to training. It's absolutely unacceptable. And then he produces really poor performances on the pitch, and he's picked week in, week out. If Ten Hag, right, we were getting dreadful performances, and he wasn't playing Rashford because he didn't think that Rashford was being professional enough, I'm behind that. If he's not picking, say, Casemiro, because he doesn't think Casemiro is fit enough and things, I can get behind that, and I can deal with worse results because you need a bit of poison to cure yourself sometimes. You need that medicine that hurts. But I don't think that he's doing any of that. Anana, man, was charting private planes and things to come back to play games of football when his form was dreadful. Play by Inder. Maguire and Evans have been some of our best centre backs and things. And they sort of weren't getting picked. There's no consistency in how he treats the players, and I don't think he's changing the club culture in any way. And we saw that this evening with a listless, uncommitted performance where the players, with the exception of Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire, didn't seem to care. They weren't taking pride in what was going on because I don't think there's a lot of accountability. So that is what I disagree with you on, is I don't think he's changing the club culture. I think he's actually enforcing it.
Sorry, Dora, do you want to add to that? Just about the culture, though, before you do. I think that when we're seeing young players coming through, that is a good sign. If he won a legacy, he could say, I brought these young players through. We won 9-1 against Liverpool, the under-18s, the other day. Today, there were 3 of that side on the bench today who would be delighted. Do you remember when Zidane Iqbal and Charlie Savage came off the bench for that game and they were buzzing, when they came and got their debut and you could see their face and they gulped as they came on the pitch. This is what young players need. And they're the kind of players that will back the manager because they're getting the opportunity. opportunity that wouldn't probably happen after from previous managers. So if you talk about legacy and change and making change in the culture, I think that's what we're seeing right there. Sorry, Dora, over to you. Do you want, before we shut this down, about this discussion here, what we're talking about?
Yeah, I just want to say, like the whole thing. Oh, he needs. We need to establish something before. That's fine. However, it's clear that this summer we are already getting most of the new board in place with Berarda. I'm not sure what is the play with Ansford. Some said that only next year he can come in, or I don't know if he comes this. Like we can attract, or not attract. Sorry, we can bring in new manager, and we can bring a new board, and then all of them can work at the same time, start from the beginning, and start doing something. Like, what is it best time?
Sorry, I was just looking. I was listening to you, Dora. I was looking at tweets. Ten Hag stormed out of the press conference after a question.
Oh, so he's broken.
Well,
He's broken.
I don't know. They said that you're on course for Manchester United's worst ever finish in the Premier League, and he said, "I'm not dealing with this." Got out, left, and Alejandro Garnacho has been liking tweets from a very large Manchester United fan channel about how Ten Hag tried to blame it on him, and oh dear, I feel on Monday that this is
the end.
Yeah.
I think this could be, I'm afraid, and I know you do support him, and I respect that you support him, and things like that. But
I did just say it takes something.
Yeah.
When he broke, he's broken.
I agree. I think that people who want him to stay and say, okay, we need to, make the whole structure and all that. You guys make sense. That's a normal thing, right?
Yeah.
I agree with it partially, but the way we play, like. The tweets, the obvious favoritism from the beginning since he came in, like it's really bad. It's really bad. He cannot stand there on the sideline and say, "Oh, this is a great system. Oh, this is a great midfield." And he has 4 midfielders on the bench who are available and who can make something happen. And I'm not sure if I think he's clutching on his, he's on his last legs and he's trying to do something, but it doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. I'm just saying that people who want him in, okay, cool, but it's obvious that behind the scenes something is happening, and I just want to pitch in and say, the idea of okay, new board and new manager all at the same time. Pep did it similarly when he came in. The new board came, like they had a board. They started bringing him his players. They started bringing the structure. They started the scouting department got better. Of course, they got a lots of oil money or fake oil money or whatever. But it is what it is. It's just there. I mean, Klopp and Edwards is a good example of that as well. We can start something, everything. We can start, we can find a new manager, we can create a new board or, bring in a new board and they can work together from the beginning. So that's my, suggestion. But, if people are reluctant to change another manager after the second season, which is, Mourinho, even though Mourinho ended up second, I think second.
Best achievement he made, he said.
Yeah. And Ole was third or second in the second as well. But Ten Hag, like his second season, he from the third place and the cup, which I respect, he fell down on the floor. And even though we are 7th right now, we don't have anything.
And remember Europe. Out of Europe completely by Christmas.
Completely out of Europe by Christmas, which is a calamity. He obviously has problems, and it is what it is. I wanted Ten Hag in 2 years ago. I felt like he was the man who is going to bring us, on the right path, but we don't know what is happening behind the scenes.
Okay. Guys, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to break it down now and say goodbye. We've got to get
hungry.
Yes, I need to quit. But most of all, I need to do a Ten Hag and walk out of here. So I'm going to walk out of this podcast, storm out of this, and cry in the background. I hope you look for a hug from one of my dogs or something, because I've been ripped tonight. I want to go see Ten Hag's press conference to see how.
I've put it in chat.
Oh, good, brilliant. Well, I'm
I've
going
got
to
a
go
link.
watch that now. Go and watch that, guys, as well as press the like button. Can we give thanks to Dora again twice this week? Come on, representing. Big up to Dora. Big up to everyone in the comments. Everyone who's commented today. Obviously, there's a lot of deep conversations going on, but I did read all your comments and I did flash them up. I couldn't read some of them out, but really good discussion in the comments as well. Big up Super Nick, welcome back. Big up Tyrone Williams. Big up Stephanie Griffiths. Big up Andrew Williams as well. Simon Warner, Bart the Serious Fan. We got who else is in the house? We got Pat. Oh, Pat, I missed you, Pat. How you doing, man? Lucky Singh. Who else? There's people from Montreal, FCMUFC. All you guys. Mark Jarley as well. Harry David. Big up Harry David as well. Guys, thanks a lot.
Lucky Singh.
I think I said Lucky Singh.
Man of the match, Lucky Singh. Especially when he called Dora Explorer. He didn't even put that in.
Very original, Lucky Singh. I like it.
Guys, go and check out the last show, the preview show. Barrel laughs. We're still laughing about it now. Dora's a good sport, by the way. We respect that. Dora, we talk about you being the next director of football, but has there ever been a Croatian player play for Man United?
Never, unfortunately.
Never, okay. Well,
I wanted Luka Modric to be the first time in 2011, but
never happened.
I wanted Mark Viduka.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's Australian, but yeah, he has Croatian roots.
Okay. Well, we had Vidic, but we're not going to go there. All right, guys, we're signing out. Have a lovely weekend. I'm going to storm out of this podcast and slam the door. Bath time, Dora. Everyone in the comments, take it easy.
Bye-bye.